So they took away the max mandate in New York State now, huh?
Science.
The science said take it away.
It changed fast.
It did. Um,
I got yelled at on the internet yesterday because I was saying or maybe it was a couple days ago.
reprimanded.
I got reprimanded because I said this is the fastest I've ever seen science change, and people didn't like it. People got offended
Why were they offended?
because I am making light of the whatever.
Making an observation. I can remember Rachel Maddow, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
She was on TV and she
Marmaduke.
was saying, this is the end game. Once you have the vaccine, you cannot contract it. You cannot pass it on.
Yeah, that's fake news.
Yeah, I guess so.
I can't say it's fake news because that might
they'll
hurt
get us
people with
banned.
TDS.
Well, the thing is how does the news compete with,
But I did have that
how do
on
they
here.
compete with Facebook? Facebook's there. Facebook's on the scene whenever something happens. They're there.
Well, amongst other people, Rogan did bring that to everyone's attention. He's like, Rachel was saying things 4 to 6 months ago that was considered okay, but now it's considered disinformation.
Right.
And why is there no, comeuppance for that?
Well, when you manage information or managed information, which is what they did, or are doing, because if you're not allowed to say something, then they're managing your information, and managed information has another name. It's called propaganda.
My favorite.
Yeah, it's so hard anymore because given the mediums available, people have pretty much figured out how to get the most impact for whatever medium it is. Say it's the newspaper, television, internet, whatever it is. And the news media, which is cable, they don't have, I don't know why they don't have a social media. I don't know why MSNBC doesn't have a social media network. Then they would have a smartphone in every single place where a story breaks.
Don't give them ideas.
I am. But if you can't compete with that, if you can't bring facts, then you have to bring sensationalism.
Tug on the heartstring.
Yeah, usually it's emotional manipulation. Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of that over the past 6 years.
A lot
Maybe
of
even
them-
more, 10.
A lot of emotional thinking, and we're all guilty of it at times,
I mean, I remember when George was just walking us into Iraq,
Oh,
and I
God.
was like, totally, this is the end of the world. The country's over. We're done. It's World War III.
I mean, it could have been, it was the first time that we had really done anything since Vietnam and Asia.
But that was I was a direct. I'm laying that out there as that was a direct example of my emotions getting totally hijacked by the mainstream media.
Right. I stopped believing it part way, because they started to accuse Iraq of all these things. And I'm like, Iraq can't fly over 2/3 of its country. And now they're sneaking stuff in. How? They have inspectors everywhere. Like that yellow cake thing when Colin Powell came in and said that they have weapons of mass destruction.
That was all fake.
And the coalition of the willing, that was pretty much the end of the UN, because we went there without UN approval. And if you remember, Russia invaded Georgia right after that without UN approval. So that was kind of like the end of the UN as far as I saw it. When you had France there, you had UK, United States, and Russia all involved in illegal invasions, as well as China is doing that now on like coral reefs for whatever reason. But when you have the permanent security members of the UN going into war, which is the one thing that they were created to prevent, it's pretty much over. I mean, the UN's primary purpose was to stop wars.
Not anymore.